Recognizes the gentleman from California, Mr. McNerney, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Our nation has endured a harrowing week which has affected each and every one of us. Senseless and tragic violence, mass shootings, shootings of those who have sworn to protect us have become part of our daily dialogue. We are forced to cope with the loss of family members, friends, our neighbors, and the fracturing of our communities as a result of gun violence in our country. My district is no different. Stockton, California endured the nation's first mass school shooting in 1989. A man opened fire at Cleveland Elementary School, killing 5 children and injuring 30 students and teachers. It was a senseless act of violence that prompted the California State Legislature to ban assault weapons. This law helped pave the way for a federal ban on assault weapons. Unfortunately, Congress gave in to pressure from the gun lobby and let the law expire in 2004. Today, there are only 6 other states and the District of Columbia that have such a ban. This past Saturday, a man gunned down in central Stockton became the city's 25th homicide of 2016. In the U.S., more than 10,000 Americans will likely be killed by gun murders this year. Another 20,000 lives will likely be lost to suicide. The total number of gun deaths and violent injuries will be close to 100,000. The victims who make these headlines are just as important as the ones that don't. But there's a brighter side to this story. In my congressional district, as well as in others around the country, there has been a real concerted effort to unite community services, law enforcement, neighborhood leaders, and others to work together to address acts of violence. Although this effort has brought people together and helped focus the community to reduce violence, constant vigilance and peaceful involvement remains needed. Are there achievable changes to our gun laws within the Constitution that would make a difference? Absolutely. Should we, as Congress and the House of Representatives, work on behalf of our people to represent the actions? Yes, absolutely. America's poor and minority populations are disproportionately impacted by gun violence. A November 2015 ProPublica article noted that half of American gun death victims are men of color in poor, segregated neighborhoods. If we really care about our citizens, we should be taking concrete steps to curb gun violence with responsible such legislation, such as expanded background checks, a ban on assault weapons, a ban on felons and domestic abusers from owning guns, and gun safety features and safety training. No one solution will completely solve the problem, but if something like expanded background checks to all gun sales will help keep guns away from dangerous people and save lives, wouldn't it be worth it? Many members of this body have heard the call of action from our constituents and took to the House floor in a peaceful yet meaningful way. We've taken the call to action and joined our constituents at events in our districts. We speak each day, and we will continue to speak about what's needed to change the cycle of violence plaguing our nation. It's my hope that just as many folks in our communities strive to reduce all acts of violence, that Congress will learn from them. We need a real dialogue about the challenges we face and what it will take to reduce violence in our communities. While such actions might seem difficult or impossible to achieve, we must join together in that pursuit and work toward a peaceful nation. Mr. Speaker, not only do we have a responsibility here in Congress, but the citizens and residents of this country have a responsibility too. To those contemplating violence, you are hurting yourselves and the people you care about. Nonviolence takes more courage and achieves so much more. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. Chair recognizes